Hi and welcome to the daily reading for August 14th. And every day this year I'm reading from Jesus Calling by Sarah Young, and the subtitle is Enjoying Peace in His Presence. So, August 14th. I am yours for all eternity. I am the Alpha and Omega, the one who is and was and is to come. The world you inhabit is a place of constant changes, more than your mind can absorb without going into shock. Even the body you inhabit is changing relentlessly, in spite of modern science's attempts to prolong youth and life indefinitely. I, however, am the same yesterday and today and forever. Because I never change, your relationship with me provides a rock-solid foundation for your life. I will never leave your side. When you move on from this life to the next, my presence beside you will shine brighter with each step. You have nothing to fear because I am with you for all time and throughout eternity. And this reading ties in with Revelations 1 verse 8, Hebrews, eyes are playing up, Hebrews something or other, Psalm 102 verses 26 and 27, and Psalm 48 verse, I'll have to have a little periscope here. Psalm 48 verse 14, and Hebrews 1 is Hebrews 13 verse 8. Have you done that trick? Maybe this is the first time that you've watched the video. This is my little trick for bringing things into focus since I used it before I gave my glasses a rest. When I would be in the grocery store and I needed to see something that was small, and I didn't have reading glasses with me, I would just, you make a tiny little pinhole and you look through it and it brings into focus this small print that you're trying to see. Each of the daily readings ties in with passages from the Bible, which is why I was trying to give you them. But sometimes I can guess the words, but the numbers, you can't guess numbers. So that's the difficulty I have, is that I can read and I can fill in the blanks. Your brain does that. It fills in the blanks so that you get a word. But numbers, you can't fill in the blanks on numbers because it could be anything. So sometimes I have to resort to this, or I just don't bother telling you. I can tell you where to go, and you'll have to read the whole chapter. So Jesus says, don't be afraid of the next life. Don't be afraid in this life, don't be afraid in the next life, because if you are a Christian and you're connected to Jesus and God, and you have this open heart with the Christ light inside you, you have tapped into your source of love. I don't think there's anything to be scared of when it comes to moving on to the next life. You might even find it quite exciting and be curious about what comes next. I think for humans, we're more worried about our loved ones that we leave behind rather than what comes next, or certainly for me, myself. When I think of death, I think of, that I do believe in something beyond, and I believe that we come back again. I've got a really kind of cool thing that I think about the afterlife and coming back. But for me, the emotions attached to leaving my children or potentially leaving my husband behind, and how they will be feeling about that, their emotions and their sadness, their grief, I don't like that idea. And that's where I suffer, where I struggle, is around the subject of death. But Jesus says, don't worry, the rock, solid foundation, everything's going to be okay. The Alpha, the Omega, the Alpha, the Omega, what was, what is, what will be, it's all taken care of. We don't need to worry. We don't need to just constantly be fearful about what comes next. We need to live our lives in joy, in happiness. We need to be kind and compassionate to each other, and we need to be kind and compassionate to ourselves. And that's about tapping into that Christ-light, that love that's inside of us. You don't have to call it the Christ-light. You don't have to even believe in Jesus or God, but you have to love yourself first. And then once you do that, it's easier to love other people, to let them love you. And then, to have this strong back and soft front about living your life. My 5 minutes is up. Namaste. Love to you all. Bye now. Bye.